Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That completes official proceedings. Best of luck to both teams.
Well, the formalities are over. Michael von Berg doing the ode and getting us ready for this. Michael von Berg, it must be said, he is the owner of the Military Cross. For his leadership and courage under fire for a 3.5-hour action in extricating one of his seriously wounded section commanders. It's a massive achievement for him. Now, I'm not going to fall into the trap of making those comparisons between people who've served this country and many other countries around the world and these players today. But it is a big day. It has to be. I mean, Anzac Day in Australia and New Zealand is one of the biggest days on the calendar. It is a very, very special day, and you have to earn the right to be here today, Steph.
You do. It's a recognition. The players get a lift, regardless. It's an emotional time for both sides of the ditch. When you look at New Zealand and Australia, the players all feel it. The players know what it's on about. They know there is intense feeling for it, and to earn the right to get a run on in a grand final replay, the players know what they're playing for.
They do. I was just having a look around, and not on camera, obviously, but there was a couple of I think there was one Burnside player in particular standing at attention during those. So I can only assume that there is a military background there. So for him, today has an extra special step.
It's got an extra bit to it, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And ladies and gentlemen, obviously Anzac Day itself is on Tuesday. The dawn services and everything else will happen on Tuesday. It is a very, very somber part of the year, but also one that, means that we should look forward and hopefully the times of those kinds of conflicts are over.
Agreed. Anzac Day's all traditionally been well supported by the local community. You look around Brighton. You have the dawn service down in Brighton. There's 5,000-6,000 people here. You go to Hallett Cove, there's another 4,000 or 5,000 people. Just around the local area, you go to any of the RSLs after, and they're jam-packed.
I think the special one for me was the first one in COVID, where we couldn't do it. And I know myself and my family got up for a dawn service that was on the radio, and basically everybody in our street was out, and we all kept our distance, but we were all at the end of our driveway. We all had candles. That for me was one of the most special ones for mine. Yep,
and it just goes to show that people still acknowledge and recognise the service that our young men and women have put in. It's not a dying thing. We still have conflicts that our service people go to on a regular basis. So it's not something that's going to slide by the wayside. The RSLs are still well patronised, and the young people actually get in behind it. And like the kids of today know about the Anzacs, and they know about the history behind it, and they're quite supportive of it, which is a fantastic thing to see.
Now, this is interesting. So kickoff is scheduled for 5 minutes' time. And I know that someone down there with the clock, it's happening at 10:02. They're not going to bring it early, which is interesting. And I just want to talk about this. Obviously, Stefan, the stages that we were at, you are still at, and I was at with our rugby career. We started early. We were like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
Is this going to be a big difference? Because I know a lot of players get quite superstitious about that 3:20 kickoff. Now we're half an hour later. We've done all the ceremonies. There's still 5 minutes to go, and they're out, and they're now going through another process to get themselves ready.
They are. They've had their captains run their warm up during the second grade game. They've got stripped, come out, and rather than straight into the game, they've come out and had to stand around for 15 minutes for a ceremony, and now they've got to refocus and re-prepare. I think kickoff comes, the flick of the switch, and people switch on to their game.
Yeah.
And whoever does it better is probably going to get the ascendancy first up.
It's really interesting. I was privileged enough a couple of months ago to spend some time with the Kookaburras, the Australian hockey team, and watch them, how they got ready for a test series. Now, if these guys out here think there's a lot of faff for this, just to play a game at international level, But what amazed me, and you talk about flicking that switch, right up until the point that they go out and do what they need to do, they could be in this clubhouse.
Yep.
They're friends, they're just chilled, they're relaxed. But the second that first whistle goes, or the second that first siren goes, there is just this switch. Now, we obviously are an amateur level, and I think that's going to be a big test for these players. Which one of these 30 men who are going to start this game can do that, and which ones can't, is going to be a big test for these guys.
It's going to come down to the leadership group on both sides. If they can't motivate and get their players focused on the task at hand early, then we may see some basic errors slipping in, some frustration coming to the game as well. But I think the guys, both sides, are both focused enough and know what's riding on today. It's the grand final replay from the 2022. It's a big game. It's the stomp to the start of the season. Both sides both want to win it. They both want to probably improve on last week's game, being first round, having their first hit out. Yeah, there's some mistakes probably on both sides that coaches have looked at and tried to address during the week. There's been conversations on social media about who's done what and who hasn't done what and how they did it and what they should have done, because everybody else is out there is an expert. But knowing your players, getting some match fitness and some game time under your belt is always a big thing as well. So I think the guys out there this week for Brighton who had the run around last week will benefit from a full 80 minutes, because Richard Wasley didn't make any subs. And there's a few people have criticised him during the week about it.
Okay, I was going to say, did he give a reason for that? Have you spoken to him about that?
His reply to it was basically, why would I sub off a bloke who's playing, who hasn't played 80 minutes, for a bloke who's already played 80 minutes? We don't have the luxury.
Unless you've got a fresh bench.
Unless you've got a fresh bench. And that was his comment. In South Australia, we don't have a 23-man squad with 8 fresh subs.
Yeah.
We rely on our second-grade players coming up, who are our fringe players, who are pushing for positions.
Yeah, okay, and because that's really interesting. And what's really interesting about that is the mindset behind these. And it's actually really interesting, because you could ask most coaches around, I would suggest, at this level, why do you change your halfback at 60 minutes?
Because they do it on TV.
Because they do it on TV, because they do it at elite level. Why do they do it at elite level? Because they ask their halfback to run himself into the ground for 60 minutes.
You have 60 minutes to destroy yourself, and then you're getting...
And then you're getting your
and the number 2's coming on.
Same with your front row.
Front row.
Work as hard as you can. We're going to bring
60
on
minutes.
fresh legs.
Yep.
But if you've played 80 minutes in reserve grade, and as a front rower, you'll know this depending on how what the weather's like, what's on TV at night, how cold it is, stuff like that. You'll potentially have played a little bit of time in the third grade as well, because it's such a specialist position. Then you're going to sit on the bench for an hour in that weather, and then be asked to come on and play 20 minutes.
Exactly.
At your best.
So you've been hot, you've warmed up, got cold, warmed up, got cold. So you're potentially looking at injuries.
Yeah, it's a really interesting, Really love the conversation, the reasoning. We got sound. We're just saying we haven't got sound. I'm being told that there's no sound at the moment. We'll try and see whether we can get anything through. See whether we can find out what's going on. Oh, no, I can hear it. I've got it. So, yeah, we seem to have sound.
Good-o.
So potentially there's just no sound in the clubhouse. We got a message, and we did get some messages at the beginning, but we are with you. Thank you very much. Maybe just people were maybe she was just tired of my voice and wanted me to go away. She's managing today, apparently, Jane.
Jane is managing today, yep. Dan Salzman's.
Never fails to get a shout-out when we do a game, does she?
Well, mother of Reese, 200-game player. She deserves a shout-out.
She must be so proud. Massive achievement by Jane, giving birth to him and take his place. And I didn't see the name Craig on the
Jordan
team
Craig
last week.
He's a young Scottish lad. Played Scotland under-20s with Max Priestley.
Fishwick, a little nervy grab at that one, but he gets it. Good counter ruck came from Burnside, sorry, patient. Then they will find a way through. Etuati of the Josh variety will take it on. There's 2 of them out there today. Patrick at 2 and Josh at 4. First penalty of the day. Max Fulton is our man in the middle. And hands in the rock is the first signal. We talked about the scrappy breakdown last week.
We did.
Not a great start.
No, Brighton has to probably get a bit more committed to the breakdown. Looking at those last couple of breakdowns, they're a bit slow. Just a half a step off the pace. Burnside early on the bit, straight over the ball, clearing out. Travis Collier trying to do his best, but when you're the halfback coming up against a solid second row, you sort of succumb to the weight barrier, don't you?
Well, second round of the season, as we discussed. Obviously, we watched Old Collegians and Brighton last week, and it really wasn't a nail biter right up until the final 30 seconds.
Until after the 80th minute.
it kind of looked like Brighton were okay.
They were
Old Cols were holding on, but then all of a sudden the tables turned. As Eli Ipper will line up for the first points of the day.
Easy position out in front. Commentators curse on that.
You couldn't wait, could you?
No, couldn't. And he's
and I tell you what, the tactical commentators curse worked.
Perfect timing, wasn't it?
we'll be having blood for supper this evening.
Oh.
Actually, you had anyway. No, we won't go into what you had for lunch. Last week, Burnside got up over on Kaparinga 53 points to 17. Now, you can look at that and go, my word, did Burnside put down a marker last week? But I am hearing from people around that Onkers was struggling last week. Again, COVID seems to be having an impact. There were players missing.
Fourth round, isn't it?
Oh. Nakawara will try and find a way through. Gets brought down. They are in territory. Collier out the back of McPherson into Dignan. I had a chat with the young Irishman this morning. Arm is out for a penalty. Then they will come this side. Look for quick hands. Alan Henson got there, but another penalty, just going to slow things down. Maina Valau, he's got a point to prove this week. I had a chat with him beforehand, and he was not allowed to forget leaving his post last week.
Yes. Puts in some work, but yeah, he's fairly hard on himself. He's not going to find touch there.
He's not. He hasn't found it. It's knocked back inside, and that's not a bad clearance from Wilkes, considering the pressure he's under from Daskowski. I spoke to someone about Mr. Daskowski, and somebody said to me, it's his A-grade debut. So I spoke to him beforehand, and I was like, oh, A-grade debut, are you worried about it? He went, nah. No, he goes, I played A's when I was 18.
He did.
But then he's another one who's gone away and come back.
He played a bit of footy, bit of AFL.
Good driving more from Brighton as they approach that 5-metre line at the moment. Collier just trying to direct traffic. The Wombat has managed to find a way through as he will burrow his way towards the 5. Nakarawa, absolutely hit hard by Vi. Sideways movement.
Collier looking left.
Kind of bumping into each other. Hunter and Simpson there, kind of getting in each other's way. Collier again. Not really making a massive impact on Burnside at the moment, and the penalty will go. I'll tell you what is interesting about the lineups this week. You'll see it in the official lineup and on the rugby one, and they've got again, Brighton.
Fishwick tap and go. Make
Lamson was
another
all
arm
over
out
it.
again, not 5.
He's going to talk to someone. But interestingly, this week, Nigel Lamson named at number 9. Finally, after all of these years, it just appears the coaches have gone, do you know what, Nigel, I give up. Just wear the number 9.
Just wear 9, yeah.
Just play as 9.
He struggled to play at 9, though. He likes to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Not that he won't do a job at 9.
Yeah, sometimes you've got to distribute them.
Yeah, you can't go every time yourself.
Yeah, no, look, he'll be fine.
He will.
You know, I think I've seen him play in this position before.
Next week he'll have 2 on his back or something ridiculous as well.
Like, you just need to put every single number on his back.
Yeah.
Still no idea how old he is.
He's some old. It's a number, isn't it? Some.
I thought he was in the autumn of his career when I first met him in 2008. Dignan, straight and hard. Collier is there, gets hands on. McPherson has options, short ball.
Jordan taking
Just absolutely smashed in midfield. I tell you, it's going to be a big afternoon for the boys in blue if this is how it goes. Collier again, now they can go quickly. Trying to find a little bit of numbers outside. Priestley looks back inside, gets over the line.
That was a nice unders line. Max Priestley coming back in off his right foot.
Had to pick his way through, but pick his way through he did. And Priestley will get his first try, or the first try of the day.
It's been a good start by both sides, really. When you look at the defence on both sides, it's just the tackles are coming in. There are some big shots going in. There are some slow defenders around the breakdown.
So you would say, I mean, we've said it about Brighton and Burnside a lot. It's like a heavyweight fight. They'll just jab at each other. Why are Brighton down in that position? In order to punish Burnside, it's the penalty. It's the penalty right in front of us. So discipline today.
It's key, isn't it?
Because if you mess up today, we saw Eliapa go at goal. We know Ed Wilkes can kick at goal. We know that cultured left foot that he has. McPherson looked good last week.
Yes.
There are points in this game if you cannot keep your discipline.
Exactly. There's some sharpshooters out there providing their foots on target. It's going to be a costly penalty. And I think anywhere from the 10-metre line across the field is fair range for both the kickers. And another flag stand.
We've done both of the kickers by telling them they're good. So it's 5 points to 0. But even even though he didn't make touch, he put it deep enough so that the clearance from Ed Wilkes left them in a position where they were, within their own 22 almost immediately.
Exactly. Yep. The return was with no angle, and Brighton's chase was on the ball, so there was pressure on it. I think if both sides maintain their pressure in defence, it's going to be difficult for the attacking side.
Nakarawa, who's trying to find a way through. I had a lovely conversation with Kev Ashby before the game about the likes of Pitt and Nakarawa. McPherson will send it into midfield. Short ball, the wrap around is lovely. Now they can go. Dignan will send it into midfield. Another big hit. I tell you, there isn't going to be any backward step today. I think that was Eliapa again, and his time away has done him no harm whatsoever. McPherson trying to find an offload option. None coming. Collier again.
Up to Sam T.
Sam T will send it on to Hunter. Hunter got himself a little bit isolated. He's done enough, I think.
He has.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, defence straight in on that ball. Jackal was good. Just a half a step too slow again.
So now we will talk about that territorial game. Jaws got himself a little bit isolated. Bumped into him actually down in the treatment room, Mr. Hunter, and I didn't recognise him. I said, are you new? And he says, no, I've been at Brighton for like 10 years. So obviously someone who flies under the radar, just gets his job done. He's not one of these...
He's not flashy.
He's not one of these flashy second rowers like Ali Wood. It's just...
He is a workhorse, and he is a solid unit and puts in some hard yards and makes some great tackles. And he's a pest in the line-out yet again. Yeah,
speaking about being a pest in the line-out, it's almost like you could hear you. Little 2 knock-ons there, so they're going to go for the first thing, which...
Be Lee Hunter off the top. Yep.
Yeah, not straight.
No, knock on by Lee Hunter.
Knock on
being a pest in the line-out.
You'll take that.
Yeah, well...
I mean, if you trust your defence here, you'll take that there. I mean, don't...
Well, it's a contestable ball.
Yeah, you've got to
get up there. You don't... It's a line-out. You contest or you just give them free ball. So, first scrum?
I don't know. I was just thinking that, and I'm just wondering whether maybe I didn't concentrate on the first one.
No,
I think that might be the case. So, be interesting to see.
She's a big line-up up front. Oh, Sam T just losing his grip and his footing.
Oh, Lamsam will go. I don't think they're 10. Going to get away with it, though. Short ball will find Etuati. Lamsam again. Out into midfield to Vi. He will offload it and find Tanaki. Just a little knock on again. And it's just these little handling errors.
Burnside just looked like they were rushing it there. they had time and space. They had the support numbers, but I think they're just trying to force a couple of passes there that we probably could have gone another to the next player rather than the one that was right on their shoulder. They were just rushing. So second scrum right on 22, Brighton inside their 22. Collier lining up to feed.
So do you think Travis would have looked at today and seen Nigel there and gone, oh, okay, at least I reckon I can keep up with him? At least it's not one of these 19-year-old whippersnappers.
Lamsham on the ball.
Yeah, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a halfback who's a back rower. Whoa, that's an interesting pass. Will find its way out to Green. Green started one-on-one, then had a couple of Brighton players to deal with, keeps his feet, allows his support to get there. Lamsham will trot over eventually. Look in field, you expect a forward ball. Vi, again. Oh, he's going to be a big boy to deal with. The big Islander running into those channels. Out they go again. Into midfield, Wilkes tries to bump off McPherson, manages to hold on to that leg like a toddler that doesn't want to go to bed. Then they will look inside. Short ball again. Loper trying to find a way through. Lamsham finds Etuati. Out to Alan Henson. Alan Henson attacks the line. Comes off a Brighton player. Penalty. Yeah, so the
knocking down.
He must have. Well, if he's knocked it on and the Brighton player's in front, it's technically an offside. So right decision, wrong signal. The other penalty in Burnside will drive themselves to win 5 metres. Just a player down at the moment in midfield. Quite see it is it Nick Simpson? Now that's an interesting one actually, because before the game I did wander down into the treatment room, like I said, just to go and see young Kev down there. He's got padding on his ribs.
Nick Simpson?
Yeah, now if he's got a broken rib or even a bruised rib, rugby is not a fun game.
No, and there's nothing you can do about it either. So,
no, he's got a big pad on there. Outside of that, not entirely sure what can be done for him. He's just going to have to work through the pain. And
yep,
if you've had broken ribs, that's a lot of pain. Into midfield they go. Dixon sends it into midfield to Vi again. Vi is going to cause some problems in that midfield. You would think it's 3 or 4 Brighton players. Oh, huge from Sam T. Great counter run. Now they can get away. Nakarora, better pass this time. Can't get it away. Strauss, Estienne Strauss, another prodigal son who's out there trying to find a way through. McPherson dummies the kick. Isolated again, and Lamsham hands on this time.
Yeah. Upended by Jaden Phillips after the whistle.
And we mentioned it very, very quickly, but with Lamsham you essentially have a back rower who's playing a half-back, and his ability to pinch and pilfer at the breakdown is legendary.
Brighton are going to have their pillars set nice and tight, because half a sniff and Nigel's going through.
Not only that, though, Collier has to be switched on sweeping at the back of it.
He does.
Because we've seen Nigel go through the middle of rucks.
He steps over, doesn't he?
More than one occasion.
Yeah. I called a couple of games last year where you've got a breakdown and he's going straight through the middle. So, yeah, he's one of those players that creates his own rules, doesn't he?
And that's Travis Collier's job.
Or Lee Hunter just upset in the air.
Again, and now they've got a little knock on and they will get the ball from that one. You would say as well, now we're paying attention to the most important part of the game, the scrums.
Scrums are money, too.
Burnside look like they have the ascendancy in the scrum at the moment.
Yep,
they pinched the last one.
The last one out the centre field there is they put the acid on and stayed straight and just blew Brighton off the ball.
Blair Marshall says tonight, I don't drop this lightly, Stefan. I tend to agree with Blair Marshall here. He says Lamsham is the GOAT. And I think as far as South Australian rugby goes, He's in very, very
he's got
select company.
Quite a few credits on his side, doesn't he?
I mean, anybody else who you would bring into that conversation probably isn't playing anymore.
No.
Eliippa again. I tell you, he hasn't missed a tackle yet, Eliippa. That's going to make life interesting. Craig
coming through.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a doppelganger for Estienne Strauss. Had to have a double look then.
He's a fraction shorter than Estienne, right?
He's a nuggety little fullback.
He is.
They build them tough up in Scotland. I'll give you the hot tip.
He has got some wheels as well.
At the back they will go. Dixon puts the ball on the foot boot kind of aimlessly. Looking for a counter-attack.
Scott Dupree making a few metres before getting level. Oh, massive clean out there.
I think he cleaned out his own player, and then Priestley gave Fraser Green a nudge on the way through. And this is what I like. These guys will know how each other plays. Max Priestley will know that Fraser Green is a big, hard-nosed runner. So Max Priestley isn't going to take a backward step today.
No, he won't. And he'll attack all day. Sam Teague just isolated.
Oh, there goes Lamsam. Absolutely picked the pocket of Collier. Slow ball, very, very slow ball.
Brighton on the counter-ruck, but ball's still there from Burnside.
It's all a bit pedestrian now. Someone's going to have to look and try and find the loud pedal at some point, you would think.
Yep, they've just got to try and find that little crack in the armour. Still heading left for Burnside.
Green,
Playing
obviously fancies his chances. Then we'll go inside to Eliippa. He will get over in the corner.
Flags up.
Oh,
Covering tackle by Pears. Just managed to get a foot into touch by the look of it.
You can normally tell by the reaction of the player. He doesn't know. He's got no idea, Eliippa.
There it is, right there.
We can't see whether that's on the line or not, so we've got to trust our match official. That's Keel, I hope I'm saying that right, Keel Gardol. Over there on that far side. So Brighton, in the shadow of their own goal line, will have a line out. Hunter, solid on his own ball and pestering the opposition's ball. Nakarawa again will run round the outside. Craig has numbers on the outside. Daskowski is free. He's got Priestley inside. Green is coming over. Oh, that's for mine. Look forward, but the referee's going to let it go. Priestley will go. Great support running. We are in line with that, Stefan. I'm going to test. I'm going to test your impartiality here.
Second look at that.
I'm going to test your impartiality.
Yeah, without seeing it on the replay. I was watching the play, but yeah.
No, it just happened too far back, unfortunately. I look from my eyes. Hey, what we do know is that people who are watching that, depending on what colour glasses you're wearing, will depend whether it's forward or not. The referee said it wasn't, and that's all that counts.
It's in the books already. Got a replacement on. Seb Stocks is out in number 23. Not sure who he's on for.
Just keep an eye out, look for Nick Simpson, because I would almost guarantee that.
Oh, Piers is off. And
I can't. Oh no, there's Nick in the number 6.
Nick Simpson's still out there. He's getting some more attention from Kev Beckett.
You can see the attention and where he's getting it. He's getting iced for. Nick's not going to work.
Cold spray, it's deodorant.
You can do what you want. It's going to hurt.
Yeah.
So you would suggest that that's an injury, because we've had that good discussion. He's not going to make a tactical substitute.
No. So yeah, Seb Stocks is on for Piers.
Has he played already, Seb?
Seb played second grade. Had a cracker of a game. Some good hard straight line running, as we always expect from Seb Stocks.
Oh, he's pulled it again. The kickers have to be talking them both up before the game.
And we didn't even talk about him.
No, I mean we were looking.
Mackerel, he won't be happy with himself. He prides himself on being fairly accurate, and
it's where you're going to miss Joel Plummer, isn't it?
And he beats himself up when he misses kicks as well. So last week saw him at half time and he was not happy. So yeah, hopefully he gets a couple shortly and switches his focus back onto the positivity. So Restarting.
It was a wobbly old one from
Isn't it?
Dixon, and that was
Left bounce.
right in. Well, hey, I guarantee they had no idea where that was. If you look at the shadows,
Yep,
you can see
straight
them
in.
on your screen. That's come right out of the sun. And it was a wobbly, horrible kick as well from Dixon.
He was spinning on the wrong axis, wasn't it?
I think it was spinning on about 6 of them.
Hunter, straight ahead. Made some good yards over the advantage line. Collier.
Strauss again gets
Strauss.
his arms free. Will find Phillips.
Phillips.
Phillips gets away with one. Oh,
Straight by the hair. Simpson testing out those
Simpson
ribs.
will get away.
Will go all the way.
No covering tackle this time against Simpson, and he will get over. And I tell you what, Brighton in danger of running away with this one.
Fraction early to start talking like that, Dave, but it's
I said in danger.
in danger. Yes. Simpson's number 6. He would have forgotten all about his ribs then. Lovely ball from Phillips. Scragged by his hair.
It's Vi again, who's causing problems legally. I don't think he needs to do that. And it.
Oh,
Look,
you just got to, though.
Okay.
It's Jaden.
oh, so
Sorry, Jaden.
Free pass on it.
Yep. Yeah. It's just one of those things. It was scragged by the collar. Too bad he had 3 feet of hair sticking out of it.
I mean, even dragged by the collar is a penalty.
It is nowadays. I think it was hand got caught or something. Let's go with that. He's just letting him know he was there. So, yeah, Manu Vai, he is out there. He is letting people know he is there.
He is letting people know he's there. And what I'm saying is he's doing that legally. Now, if that gets caught either by an assistant referee or by the referee, you ain't starting with a restart, you're starting with a penalty.
You are.
That's the point I'm making.
And maybe being a cynical foul play.
Potentially 14 players.
14 players, exactly. So there's no need for him to be doing it.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
Hey, great
wholeheartedly.
entertainment, but
Yeah. Jaden probably didn't even notice, but
I still love in the NFL, in Gridiron, and the hair is part of your uniform because you choose to grow your hair, so you can tackle by the hair.
right.
It makes for some wonderful
You just can't grab him by
images.
the face guard, though.
No, but hair, that's okay.
Yeah, okay. See, I'd be fine.
Oh, little knock on.
Penalty,
Nakarawa, penalty. Hand, so it was ripped away from him. Collier thinks about going. So, conversation with Kev Ashby as we saw Nakarawa do Nakarawa things then.
Unscripted as usual.
Look, there are players who you just kind of go, okay, you do
Play,
you, boo.
Play, yeah.
Well, you know, if as a coach...
Look at Nigel, look at Manu.
Exactly, and this is what we were talking about. Those talented players, if you try or you manage to break them and play structured, you lose the magic.
Yes, you do. Or they just end up getting lost in the game.
Yeah. So there are certain players, almost you want to say to them when you're giving your team speech or you're doing training drills,
Put your fingers in your ears.
just go over there and play in the sand, come back Saturday.
We'll give you a whistle when we're done.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to listen anyway.
In the side is the signal for the ruck.
He's a sizable halfback, isn't he?
He is. There's some junk in that trunk.
He's got the streamlined haircut for today. Freshly
Honestly,
shaven.
I don't know how he manages it, but every time I see him, he has a different haircut. I have never seen him with the same haircut twice.
No. Well, yeah.
I don't know how he manages it.
Because it's not far between games when you see him either.
That's what I mean. Burnside lineup, they have struggled with this. Can they sort something out? Yes,
Clean
they
off
did.
the
The nice quick ball to the front. Dixon, Vi, given absolutely no room by Estienne Strauss, and he fells the big timber. Great counter ruck. And they've made an absolute mess of that. Oh, penalty. Hands.
Oh, hands.
Oh, do you know? If we have a replay of that, what's the referee's signal? Just keep an eye on the referee here. Ball's out.
Comes through.
Then he says
then he
hands.
plays it on the ground. Yep.
But if he says ball's out...
Ruck had reformed, though. There was 2 players
Yeah,
in.
okay.
Still can't, yes, yeah. Well, that's how... Oh, shanked that.
No. Wilkes.
Unlucky, Jordan.
Craig, it's a catalogue of errors at the moment. Nakawara just about brings it in. There we go with Stocks. Stocks will send it infield. He will find McPherson. McPherson has enough support at the moment. Daskowski thought about it, then thought better of it. Don't want to get involved in rucks as a winger. Then the offload.
Hunter up
to the 200-game superstar. Out there will go in the midfield. T has a huge amount of room in front of him. Will find Craig. Craig has one outside. Covering tackle comes from Lamsam. Breakdown is there. I tell you what, Travis Collier has got them out of jail there. Can he keep his feet? T, now puts it on the boot.
What a lovely grubber.
Give him a 10, just give him a 0, ladies and gentlemen, that he can put next to that number 1.
No, for that he should be dragged. I suppose you're allowed 1 kick a season, but you're only in game 2. Come on, Sammy.
That's a good one as well, Sammy, I tell you. You have got my full and absolute support, Sam.
And he put the follow-up chase on it, so
yeah, if Mr. Wosley wants a word, tell him to give me a ring. That's Duarte, and again, that quick line out, that quick banker ball, you would call it. This time
shot.
Strauss didn't get him.
Came second on that
Wilkes, now we're out and running, trying to find a way through. Can't quite find a way through. Tanaki has to die with it. Lots and lots of support there.
Slow roll.
Arms out again, Nakawara.
Just
Etuarte. That's backwards and horrible, and Fraser Green gets man and ball, and he gets rid of the man. Now he will come across. Collier tries to get him, does get him, just manages to get the jersey, and he's gone into touch again. Tell you what, Travis Collier got Brighton out of jail twice then in the space of the last 10 minutes. If he hadn't got there and managed to recycle,
I'm pretty sure that Scott on the wing there would have had him, would have run him down.
Still.
But yeah, Travis Collier, man on a mission. He's still out there fighting every week, putting a name on everything, isn't he?
Absolutely wonderful, Travis Collier. And the one before, which we won't have a replay of, they were absolutely dead to rights at that breakdown. They were done.
Body on the line.
Absolutely cooked. And Collier came there, picked it up.
Yeah, pick me.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to get smashed here, but I've got to.
But I'm going to hold the ball.
Line out Brighton, the wraparound from Phillips, then into Nakawara. Nakawara trying to find a way through, looking for the offload. Not there just yet. Collier, again, trying to find something to do. He's got Sam T running from the boundary fence. Manages to break off Lamsam. Now we'll go clean out. Just about got there, but Lamsam stolen again. Now they're going to look this near side. Burnside looks for the offload, gets the offload to Wilkes. Collier gets hands on. Then Daskowski will clean it up. Ladies and gentlemen, it is non-stop here. Lamsam, now we will slow it down somewhat into midfield. Tanaki will bounce Simpson. Simpson goes back for a second bite. Gets it. There are hands on from Brighton. Penalty. Minor Volau.
Silly.
Collier, hey, nobody wants you to go quick, Travis, including myself.
Take your breath, Dave. McPherson going to look for touch.
I did challenge them to find the loud pedal. My word, did they find it.
Aren't they? They are flat out. Some boys gasping out there on both sides. Hands on hips, heads thrown back. Yeah, all over that. Eyes on the ref, the entirety of it. Saying, I'm clean on this, sir. That is a great touch finder, Macca.
I mean, especially because it talked about how he beats himself up. You have to have a short memory. You can't be thinking about the one he missed. Can't be thinking about the
conversion was good, so his mindset switched around. A lovely touch finder from that. Kicked straight into the sun.
Line out just outside the 22. We've seen that they can get a rumble on. They've also, right off the head of Simpson.
Phillips with a clean ball, but yeah, just rushed it.
Vi takes on Nakawara, and again, that's 4 Brighton players to bring him down. Dixon kind of sits out in the pocket, then we'll look, and it's come horribly off that right foot. Collier is there again. He's on a mission to get his name called today. Travis Collier out to Craig. Craig! Oh, the little mistake has got him some space. He's got support on the inside.
Phillips under the
posts.
Great bit of counterplay there by Brighton.
How many times do we see that little handling error just froze everybody?
You put the brakes on when you see it happening, but he didn't slow down for it. He just regathered, one-handed offload.
I tell you.
Jaden's eyes would have got big on that.
Jaden Phillips' heart would have been about 3 inches higher than it should have been at that point.
But scored it convincingly.
Great finish under the post as well. Yeah, he's got his subscription to the Dave Webb Finishing School.
Percentage. Nick Simpson still walking back, holding those ribs.
Mate, that is huge.
Yeah.
Look, having played with broken ribs,
I can let you know that broken ribs or a cartilage,
anything to do with
sternum,
ribs, anything.
Breathing's a big enough struggle, but then you go and put contact or set phases on it when you're lifting in a line out or scrummaging.
Or someone's throwing a ball at your head.
Or bouncing off the top of your head is probably the least of your worries, but yeah.
It's like a mega falcon.
Yeah, it was. It was a great header. But Nick Simpson, he'll be feeling it, but it hasn't really impacted on his play.
Not so far.
No, his body on the line, and he's committed to the breakdown and tackles. Macca slotting another one.
Not convincing, but the flags go up. He's pulling it.
Yeah, well,
feels really, really tight as he swings through it. So just want to see him relax a little bit.
Got 8 metres of poles to kick through. It all counts over the bar. But I think he's just rushing himself through the kick from my professional kicking vantage point.
Looks really, really tight as he goes through. It's not that nice, relaxed follow through that you want to see. Wilkes will go this side now. Deskowski takes command over Craig. He is going to find a little way through. Great step from Deskowski. Then we'll look for Simpson. Simpson is alone. He's got a lot of work to do. Vi will get him. Great work from Simpson. They've been lucky to get away with that. I don't think that's Josh Atuati, the number 4.
No, I don't either.
We might have swapped jerseys. That might be Joshua Harley. Simpson now will look at halfback into Strauss. Strauss will put his head down and go again. Collier has Nakarawa on the inside. I tell you, he got the post to move again. Fishwick, the 200-game superstar, tries to find a way through. Just nice and slow ball. They are nice and set on this near side. Gets rid of Phillips. McPherson, nice little kick into the corner.
Nice little punch.
Simpson, slow to get up, but that is hardly surprising from the young man from South Australia.
His work rate is pretty good, isn't it?
Yet another prodigal son. Just try and count them out there. So we've got Priestley, Simpson, he's been away and come back. Strauss has been away and come back. Deskowski been away and come back. Wilkes has been away and come back.
Well, no lift, but clean
They're
take.
just looking for that quick ball now because Hunter is obviously huge hit in midfield. Minor Volau, welcome.
Just introducing myself. How are you? Good counter-ruck there by Brighton, putting Burnside under all sort of pressure, turning the ball over. Be a pick and go from Pitta.
Nakarawa trying to find a way through. Then there'll be another little burrow. Can't find the way
Might be
there.
one more.
McPherson has got Deskowski. We've seen how elusive that young man is already. Nakarawa again, have a look. I think he just laid it off. Can't quite see. It looks like
still there,
Simpson
going
at the bottom of it. They are continuing to knock at that door. McPherson, now he will go. Skip past Deskowski. Got a lot of work to do, the little fella. Lamsam will chop him down, and then Eto'ati will just find all of his weight and put it on the young man on this near side. Oh, that's a horrible, horrible ball. He's going to be dragged back inside. Managed to do okay. Wilkes will sit in the pocket. See him looking for blockers. Just moves a little bit wider, does Ed Wilkes. Happy for them to pick and go.
Just settling it down a fraction.
Just give himself a little bit more room and a knock on.
Knock on, little knock on.
That's always the problem.
It is. Think if you're trying to settle it with a pick and go, it's 1 or 2, not 3 or 4.
Yeah, just the one.
Brighton had their chance to set the defence and they've got there and done it, and they've just forced that error.
Yeah, and it's an unforced error. Sorry. Yeah, well, it is an unforced error after you've saying they forced it, but it's an error they didn't really need to commit, and it's going to be a Brighton scrum, which isn't the end of the world for Burnside at the moment because we have seen them be dominant in these scrums.
Yeah, they have put Brighton under a lot of pressure on the scrums. So set's called, and
better from Brighton. Nakawara will pick up. Gets the offload away to Daskowski. He's going to get stood up in the tackle. He's over the line. Does he get it down?
No, held up.
So it'll be a goal line dropout.
He just took that ball on a fraction high there and was met ball high with a wrap tackle, and there was no chance he was getting that down or back. So
that's Afa, as he is lovingly known at Burnside.
So they're displaying some excellent defence.
Oh, that's
excellent defence.
Oh, he's going to find a way to halfway at least. McPherson, the entirety of his teammates in front of him, gets in front of a couple. Sam T given the hard yards. Oh, I tell you, there might be hands on from Burnside there. No, they've got away with it. Nakawara, he will look this near side. Fishwick offloads McPherson. McPherson will try and find a way through. He is tackled in the backfield by Rahali. Rahali trying to stand him up. Vi's there to help out. Great support from the men in black and gold.
Strauss cleaning up and taking that into contact. Just
Simpson.
Slow ball.
Simpson trying to find his way through. Just wants ball retention. Collier is... No, he's there. He's just waiting for it. Then they will go again to Stocks. Stocks gets great yardage after contact.
Great leg drive.
They will get there again. Now they've got Burnside on the back foot. Collier again. Nakawara trying to find a way through. One high, one low. Trying to just take away that offload. Hunter. Dancing feet from the big man. Can't find a way through. Collier again. They've got numbers on that far side if they can start to spread it. Manavolo. Great offload. We'll send it to Priestley. Priestley wriggles through the first one. Can't get through the second one. Looks for support. Gets support from Craig.
He will get up by two.
Brought down immediately. Green is slow to get away. T again. Big long run up. He's hungry for that try line at the moment. Again, Burnside backs to the wall at the moment.
Slow ball again. Pick and go.
Very, very slow ball. Trying to find their way through. They do get there. They're there or thereabouts. Not quite. Simpson potentially looking for his third of the day.
Oh,
I'm out. That's going to be offside. They went a little bit too early, you would think.
Yes.
Red zone penalties. The referee will be hot on them. They've gone through the middle and they're up.
Who's that?
Arm is up. Who's going to come up with it?
Jaden Phillips. Jaden Phillips with a sneaky little reach out for that one, I thought.
The Wombat comes away with a meat pie.
Little assist from the 200 game. It was pretty hard to tell with the two grey headgears there. Just watching on the replay. Jaden Phillips, pick and go. All by himself.
It's the nice and low. It's the opposite to what we saw from Daskowski, isn't it? Obviously, wingers aren't expected to do that short drive.
They're not. They're not. They're more flashy rather than just grunting it through the middle. But Jaden will be happy scoring a try.
There's a question that's just come up from Stephen Stanway. He says, Burnside have lost their mojo. Why? And I did allude to this last week. You could look at what Burnside or what Brighton are doing at the moment and call it boring rugby. It's one out.
It's basic
It's
rugby.
Recycle. It's hit a channel. We're not seeing flashy passes.
It's getting yourself back into focus and playing the game plan. You look at how hungry Pitter is on the ball. He is every other play, which is not the flashiest, but he's one out running, looking for an offload, and if it's not there, he doesn't give it, which is a new Pitter. He's not forcing passes.
It looked better from McPherson off the boot, but that's the reason why, I think, is that Brighton have just been absolutely fantastic in the rugby that they have played. There's not a lot you can do, mojo or otherwise, if you don't have the ball.
Well, you can't win without the ball. It's the age-old adage for rugby, isn't it? As an under five, first thing is the coach says to you, you can't win without the ball.
Wilkes, nice high restart, not quite contestable. And Estienne Strauss will try and find a way through. Rahali will fight him down, not after he's made a good 20 metres. Strauss.
He's looking good with ball in hand.
Collier again, McPherson, Priestley.
Craig, levelled.
Not quite. Lamsam just couldn't quite get him down. The slippery little Scotsman trying to find a way through. Brought down at the second time of asking. Now they'll go again. Nakawara. It wasn't Nakawara, it's Minavalo. I get mixed up with the hair.
Phillips
gets away and he'll get inside to Hunter. Hunter unselfishly to Nakawara.
The showman in for the dive. He'd have to be happy with that. Great support lines. Clean ball off the shoulder for each of those offloads. Jaden Phillips, Lee Hunter screaming off his shoulder. Nice little pop ball, looking, draws the player, offload.
And this one, I tell you how many second rowers, because they don't get their name on the score sheet very often, how many second rowers wouldn't have given that pass?
A lot. They would have died 5 metres out with 2 players tackling them.
You thought about sort of like having a front 5 fraternity then and biting back at me, but...
No, Lee's a quality player. He plays in the back row as well, so he knows that he had 2 players coming in on him. He attracted both of them, and it was a clean offload to Petter, who just dived from when he got the pass, basically. It's unselfish rugby.
Do you remember a while ago I said that Brighton were in danger of pushing this one away, and you said it was a bit early?
I did. It's a point a minute, isn't it?
I just had a feeling.
Yeah.
And look, this is a test now for TJ and Callum Walton.
It is.
Because...
And Macca slotting that nicely.
I think this is going to... Yeah, it is half-time as they go. And just before we go to a break, this is incredibly important because... As a rugby player, and I think that last restart, and it's the restart that they're going to take into the changing room, if you restart and then you concede direct from the restart, that is a difficult pill to swallow, because where do you go from there? How do you fix that?
Yep. The chase from Burnside on that last restart wasn't on. They weren't a flat line, and they should have been up in a line. Strauss just had too much room to move.
So we'll let you think about that at home. We'll have our answers on a postcard or in the Facebook comments, depending on what generation you're from. We'll get your answers when we come back from a break.
Welcome back to the second half.
Caught us all by surprise. We're off again. Phillips.
Little shimmy left and right. Into the 22. Slow ball for Collier. Oh, dipping pass. Lovely.
Did well to get it off the ground. Strauss, McPherson into the 22. Trying to find a way to floor. Gets
Tackle
his
ball.
knees down.
Collier back left.
Does he know what is
Up the
listening to
fitter.
me about the sacrifice tackle? Nakawara there just got numbers out there. Navallo.
Sully be happy with that.
This week he gets his name called out for exactly the right reason. Had a little chat with him before the game as well.
Yeah, he was a bit beating himself up a bit about last week, wasn't
Yeah, he let me know that none of the boys let him forget. I said to him in that beautiful Fijian way, when I said to him, "Do you get in trouble for leaving your post?" And the biggest smile you have ever seen broke on his face. He said, "Yes, I did."
Yeah, it's the guilty grin, I think they call it.
So McPherson, this will be a test for him.
Yeah, kicking out wide. He's, 7 metres in from touch. A couple metres short of the 22, so fair angle on it.
Now, we had one response to our challenge. How do you fix this? It's an interesting point. So you look at this Brighton side. Nakawara, do not give him the ball in a broken field.
No.
Priestley, do not give him the ball in a broken field.
Yep.
Craig can say the same again. It would look like Strauss is running really, really well in the open field. So where'd you put your kickoff?
No.
It has to be contestable.
Yep. As we said, right going into half time. Nice drive through, Nathan.
Yeah.
Just push it across the face, though.
There are times, you know, when it's not going well that you just have to go, right, okay, I'm just kicking the leather off this thing. And I've got to get it straight. But again, he's just pulling it, which suggests that there is that tightness, and he's just pulling that away. Just needs to breathe a little bit more. Imagine a golf swing.
Imagine it.
That coaching's free, Stefan.
Thank you, Dave. I'll take it on board.
Again, that's probably a little bit too deep for a contest, and Nakawara with a broken and open field. Nakawara now will try and find a way through. Runs into Simpson. Kind of helped him make the half break. Collier, man and ball, but penalty.
In from the side, or? I'm not sure what that
entirely sure what that.
Is that a lifting, or?
Or it didn't get to his feet. I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting call. Or interesting signal.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't read the laws of rugby for a while, but I wouldn't assume that the referee signals.
Oh, I think it was Petter hanging on, actually.
Well, that's like a ghost hug.
Yeah,
That's where you hug a ghost.
But yeah, Lamsham straight in on that ball, had all rights to it, and just.
The only thing I could think is there was a clean out that never really made it onto his feet. He kind of crawled through. So maybe you were telling get up to your feet
stay
before
up,
you got to stay up when you clean out.
Yeah, could have been. Yep. But then they
generally that is closing a trapdoor.
Yeah. So Brighton scrum, turn that over.
No, I have no idea what happened then. But anyway, we're away and running. The Stock's over on that far side. Deskowski trying to find a way through. Just in the background, Nakawara is
cramping,
struggling. It looks like with cramp. Now they will look into the midfield. McPherson. It's a long kick, but it's going to find its way down the throat of Fraser Green. Fraser Green will look to return it with interest. And at the moment, we'll just find McPherson. McPherson tries to find a way through it. I tell you, that's not where it was aiming, but it went okay.
Centering.
High kick in the middle. Sam T.
Send it back,
absolutely everything today, the big fella.
And the offload.
Alan Henson with 2 goes at it. And tell you what, Sammy T.
What a monster.
Game for the ages. Nakawara saw the gap in the defensive line, but the door was shut
a little between the legs. Up to Lee Hunter, double grab on it.
Tell you what, Sam T has left his mark on a Burnside player down here.
And penalty for
whatever that stand-up thing is again.
Yeah, not keeping your feet. I don't know, let's have a look here.
Vi will go. Inside ball will find Tanaka. Tanaka just about brought to ground. Etuarte will send it on. Now they will look, and now they've got a little bit of forward momentum going. Trying to find a way through.
Oh, Travis Collins.
That's
What a monster tackle.
That's Atawati, I think. We're in the number 5. Possibly turned over by Collier. He's now very slowly making his way out. There it goes. The innocent look from the...
Me, sir. You're lying there all day, Travis.
The wise old halfback. But I can't get out.
Sealing off.
Well, you got in, Travis.
Yeah,
So
if it was a bomb, you would get out. It was
that one.
It was an old referee. Well, my dad, who used to referee, he's like, players would lie on the ball, and he said, and they'd say, I couldn't get out, sir. But if it was a bomb, son, you'd get off it.
There he goes, like, crawling through the legs. Oh, it's Fishwick. It's not Collier. Too many headgears.
Too many same headgears, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to sort that out. Can we sort that out almost like jockey silks?
Oh, we've got subs coming on.
20. I don't have numbers for the subs, so it's one of them.
Oh, it's Sam Clancy. On for Sick Nimpson with his sore ribs.
He's done very, very well to get to this point. 45 minutes gone. And I tell you, half-time would not have helped him. He just would have been running on adrenaline. Burnside, the sack straight away from Brighton. Awesome work. But I tell you, they've managed to move the point of attack. Now they can get going forward. Don't get over the line. Wonderful maul defence from Brighton.
Great shift defence by Brighton.
Lamsam, Vi looks for the offload. Not there. Nakawara and Estienne Strauss, I think.
And we had a little knock on.
You could probably call that a try saver.
It was, wasn't it? So Brighton advantage. Collier looking for somebody.
No one really there. So they're going to try and just bash their way out a little bit. But as we've seen, you can't go too many. Priestley, they're just going to go long. The knock on.
Goal had a little look. So we're coming back. No advantage. We'll come back for the Burnside knock on.
Absolutely love that name, by the way. Schalk Dupree.
Schalk Dupree.
Does it get any more South African than that? Or maybe if we put a Van in there, I think it would be slightly more.
Van Dupree.
Schalk Van Dupree.
It's probably...
Probably shouldn't. Apologies to any South Africans. I just love the naming of most South Africans. Really interesting.
Yeah.
What did he knock on in goal?
No. It was...
They've gone back for the original Burnside knock-on.
Yeah, it was the Burnside knock-on. Manu Vai, just in the tackle, just trying to place the ball back, just rolled forward fractionally. So.
Yeah, but Dupree was outside. I thought he'd knocked it on in goal.
Oh, out here?
Yeah.
No, he was
just outside. Outside. But certainly this scrum here. This is a scrum you would think that Burnside just need to find themselves,
they actually need to
get back to that.
They need to settle. Because that was a lot of movement before the ball came anywhere close.
You wonder whether that's Brighton's doing.
No, both sides were going sideways on that.
As a Brighton forward, you wouldn't want Burnside to settle right now, would you?
If Brighton had any smarts, Sammy T would take a half a step back on the engage. And it did show that Burnside were putting the acid on early.
Completely legally.
Yeah, of course. You know, it's front row games. Fishwick with a long bind.
It's not settled again. There was a little shift early from Brighton. Burnside do manage to get the shove on, and they do manage to just disrupt it enough. Nakawara does well and picks up. It's an absolute mess down there, but it's going to come out. Lovely little pick and drive again, and now this is the one where McPherson needs to set himself and just clear the lines. You start going again. No, they are going one more. You just don't want to get yourself isolated. Just about got away with it. Nakawara gets away, and then there's a little knock-on from...
I think it was a knock-on from Burnside.
No, there it is. The signal comes eventually. But we talked about it in the first half, and it's happened again, and we tried to stop... From up here, we tried to stop them doing it.
Oh, that was unlucky. It was like 4 hands going for one ball, and they've called the knock-on. But yes, one too many pick and goes.
Yeah, you've got to make sure.
McPherson was standing way too shallow for it.
It's your in-goals?
For even looking like it, though.
The in-goals are tiny, and I wonder whether you have to match, because obviously the one on the way to our right, there is a fence in decent proximity to the back end of the in-goal.
I think they've shortened up the in-goal, so there's the training room at the back.
It's a very, very short in goal.
It is a very short in goal.
That's why we've seen all of the kickers today. Anytime there's been
Under
anything
pressure.
around 5 metres, they're under massive pressure.
Vi off, scragged by Sam Glancy. Just hanging on by one leg. Pick and go again.
Atuati will try and find a way through. Can't find a way through. Burnside are there in numbers. Lamsam has to dig for it a little bit. Vi again, and tell you, they have dealt with the big fella much better in the second half. Dixon out to Wilkes. Wilkes sends it out this near side. Brighton coming across in numbers.
Flag's
He
not
thinks
up.
he's got it down. The
That'd be a
flag
try.
hasn't got it up. There's going to be a conversation.
Try
It
scored.
is a try. Tanaki hanging out here on this near side. When we see a replay of this, you'll see the defensive numbers come under. I tell you, if you froze this as the approach, there is no way on earth that he should finish this. Hey,
Okay.
let's call it one each,
Righto.
shall we? We'll call it one each.
Let's call it one each. Wow.
We had Dan Naylor down there. Love Dan Naylor and love the work that he does. It's 1-1 each, Dan. One forward pass and that not grounding. We'll take it, one
I'm
each.
going out for that one. It was money. Yep.
Finley around as well today. Love seeing Finley. I'm sure people in the community know about Finley, so beautiful to see him out today.
Everybody knows who Finn is. Finn is the face of rugby, and he's into everything, regardless of where he
I
goes.
tell you what, that's not bad from Wilkes. Just didn't
Just
quite
shaved the
start it
left-hand
far
post.
enough out. Right, that is a fairly big mountain to climb for Burnside.
Well, they're off the
41
mark.
points to 5, but they are off the mark.
Yep.
It is a
Fishwick,
better rugby from Burnside.
Fishwick just having a small chat with the ref.
Just a small chat.
Yeah.
A bite-sized chat.
But a little snippet of his insights, I would have thought. McPherson sending it down to the 22.
It's another non-contestable kick. It's really interesting how this is going.
What have we got here?
Accidental offside?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Oh. Disheartened faces by Burnside. Where are we? There it is.
There it is. Steps into Collier and
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, Jaden Phillips did a great sell job as well.
Yeah.
I would have absolutely nailed him, sir.
I didn't want to hurt the other two rower trying to tackle the bloke with the ball. Yep. As far as textbook accidental offsides, that was it.
That's it, yeah. So Burnside again, they've just...
Brighton is sitting awfully high in the front row.
I find it really interesting as well. And look, so again, if you're watching it from here, they moved, Brighton moved that last one, the goal line one. They just moved it so the entire pack was between Travis and Nigel.
Yeah.
You've got to shut him off.
So they made Nigel go the long way around.
Yes.
Yeah. So Sam T taking his head up, basically, on the loose head side.
You might see, as soon as that ball goes in, you might see them shift again, clockwise. There they go.
Oh, folding in.
But the
inside.
ball's there, so we're going to go. McPherson, short ball to Craig. Craig will find a way through. Green comes across, suggestion of high, but everybody's playing on. Now they've got numbers. It's just about whether Nakawara can find them. Doesn't need them, finishes it himself.
Great sell by Pitter. Little step off the left and straightening, dots it down. And he stayed down too,
player on a hat trick for Brighton at the moment. Priestley's got 2, Nakawara's got 2.
The 200 gamer.
It's not bad actually from Fraser Green.
200 gamer's not got on the board. He's generally close to getting tries each week, isn't he?
He is.
Perhaps 200 games and the captaincy roles slowed his focus to trying to milk pies every week.
Not that I am suggesting that Richard Wasley has bowed to peer pressure, but we've seen changes galore from him today.
Yes. Selwyn Nunu on. Unsure who he's on for. It may be Dazowski. No.
So it would be your
Dupree.
other window, which would be Dupree. Punishment for dropping it.
Punishment for you keep saying his name.
Oh, it's a great name. It won't let me say it anymore. Oh, he's gone to the drop kick.
Oh, because the tee wasn't run out. And we would have, oh, great,
Oh,
droppy.
well, just keep
Nathan,
going with
keep
that,
going,
Nathan.
son. What a kick.
See,
that was a big droppy.
The difference, again, just how relaxed it was and how smooth it was compared to the tight drive that we've been seeing.
Perhaps, given the tee and having time, he's focusing too much on the kick. Rather than under pressure, mate, you've got 10 seconds to get rid of it, and your tee's only halfway across the field. Have a slap kick at it, and away it goes.
I don't know who the Burnside captain is. I would assume it would be Nigel or a much better restart, but no contest.
Lee Hunter just...
Well, they've won it. I tell you what, they've got that for free.
They have. Lee Hunter just overran that fractionally. Probably player behind him should have been coming forward to take it.
No contest at all from Burnside. Well, I was about to say, Wilkes comes from the boundary fence.
Oh, another Falcon.
Oh, and Alan Henson will find a way through. Phillips doing everything he can to stay there for as long as he could because he knew they were backs against the wall. Just trying to find a way through. Rahali.
Oh, Rahali was tackled though.
Yeah, he was. He's let him go. Nakawara is down again, I think.
He is.
Etuati trying to find a way through and is rejected emphatically by the boys from Brighton.
I think Peter might have copped.
They're here again. They found a way through again. Wilkes throws the dummy, tries to find a way through. Nunu knocked on.
Knocked forward.
So they'll get another go, you would think. Green. Tanaki.
Priestley all over them.
Tanaki might have actually moved out to this wing full time.
Oof.
One of the Etuati brothers, I think it's Joseph, was slow to get up. Nakawara slow to get up. They are... there's some attrition happening at the moment.
Oh, Sam T just making an absolute
Short
pest
ball.
of himself.
Good solid defence again from Brighton. Lamsam
rolling out.
Out the back. Vi just stands and gives to Tanaki, who drops it cold.
Great pressure by Selwyn Nunu, though.
I tell you, that is, from a coaching point of view, that pass from Vi is one of the most frustrating things. You had 4 players between you and the winger, and all you've done is loop it out.
Even if it skipped one player and gone, skip one player, not 3 players. Get it through the hands. You attract defenders.
I know what he's thinking.
Yep. There's
and
space
I've
on the
been
wing.
guilty of throwing them, which is why I know it's a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't throw them. But I know the vision was looking for space out wide.
Yeah.
If he'd gone hands, it would have attracted players in.
Well, you just got to, somebody has to attract defenders, otherwise all you do is shift 5 of them over onto
They just
Tanaki.
slide straight across with the ball. They follow the ball across, and you got one bloke on the wing with 4 blokes nailing him.
Gone down again. And is it Sam T over on that?
Sam T on the loose head.
Sam T is absolutely employing the dark arts over here.
That wouldn't be like Sam. Such a gentleman. He got up with a smile on his face, though, so he's obviously enjoying himself.
I think he knows it, yeah. So I guess the trick is to make it collapse, but make it look like it's your opposite number that's collapsed it.
Yep, 100%. As soon as you feel his grip loosen on your jersey, you force your shoulder down on top of his and his hand goes down on the ground and you've got a penalty straight up anyway. You might as well make the most of it. It's a very...
Better scrum from Brighton.
Very solid platform that they've put up for that one.
Oh, and then the
Bounce pass.
McPherson
just sends it up on the roof.
Yeah, and that like, he's been forced into that.
It was a rush kick, but good clearance. Takes it down to the 22.
And that's interesting because, you know, we both said that there's going to be blood for Josh Etuati, you think?
Yeah, it looks a bit like it, doesn't it?
You would expect to see that sort of delivery if Brighton were under pressure, but not at the moment. They're going to...
Free ball at the front for them.
Yeah, they got a bit confused with numbers. Dixon out to Wilkes. It's all backwards at the moment. Somebody's got to find a way through. Is that somebody? Wilkes? Oh, my Lord, what a contact. Him and Hunter. Sam T gives himself up.
Yeah.
Thinks it's just a trailing arm from Sam T. Tanaki trying to find a way through.
Steps all over Collier. takes it into the 22, still playing under advantage.
Tell you what, I don't mind that move. Lamsam trying to find a way through. If Tanaki is actually out on this wing, I don't mind that. If you've got somebody who can run for 80 minutes,
Picks and
put
goes
him up
himself.
against someone like Nunu or Dasowski, as he was in the first half. Still trying to find a way through. Another big contact from Estienne Strauss.
Loves the contact
Oh.
and turnover.
Yeah, we're going to go back for...
That's a long advantage for the lazy tackle by Sam T, let's say.
I mean, if we can discuss why it was long, if you wish.
There was clearly no advantage, so we've come back to the
so
22.
you have to get the same or better than what you would have got from the penalty. That's when advantage is over.
Yes.
So Wilkes, you would think, is going to kick this
He's going to
into
punch
the
it into the corner, yep.
which he does. Just trying to keep an eye on Nakawara. It's 20 minutes to go, and is that 33 points the difference? 43 points the difference.
43, mate.
So it's a fairly substantial hill to climb.
But they were in the right position to actually get it, or get 5 more out of it. Clean take, held up, can't sack. Now they can sack.
Oh, great sack as well. But they've managed to shift the
shifted
focus again.
But
not
shut
bad
down
line-up
again.
work. I mean, when your coach is an ex-front rower and your assistant coach is a second rower, your line-up work better be good, gentlemen.
Yep.
Tanaki trying to find a way through, can't find a way through. Lamsam will wander over to the back of it, happy for things to move slowly for now. Slowly and sideways it goes.
Yep.
Great counter ruck.
Led by Collier.
Oh, jeez.
Travie at it again. Just a pest.
I wonder whether Mr. Von Berg is keeping notes on Mr. Collier today. Obviously, the Von Berg medal is given to the best and fairest today.
There's been some exceptional players out there today. There's been a lot of notable players. Man with the ball now has had
Vi trying to find a way
had
through.
a monster of a game.
Tell you what, they've closed him down in this second half. Rahali has met hard. Estienne Strauss, absolutely fantastic. Both sides of the ball, Strauss has been absolutely faultless today.
Oh,
Collier.
cheeky Travis.
Oh, and a great clearance kick from Travis Collier.
Travie has had another superb game, hasn't he?
Absolutely outstanding, and you know.
And now he wants to be in the line-out.
Wow.
the man has no boundaries.
Well, those around you lose your heads if you can keep yours.
So Jaden Phillips has lost his headgear.
Yeah, good idea, Jaden. Just go with the tape, Jaden. Then we'll see
the old school honey badger style.
Yeah, love it. Yeah. I reckon he'd get a gig with Traded.
I reckon he would too.
Off the top, Lamsam. Collier in his face, but it was nice delivery. Now into the midfield. Wilkes pulls it out the back to Alan Henson. Only just made the gain line.
And there's an arm out. Penalty advantage. Tap and go.
So they've taken the penalty. Is that Tanaki again?
He's into everything this second half, isn't he?
I swear he's actually the left winger as well.
Yep.
Well, Vi is out here now.
Vi is now the left winger.
Which I don't mind that tactically. If you get him one-on-one.
It's imposing. Well, look when he's up against the size of Selwyn.
That's what I'm saying. Selwyn Nunu now will be thinking, Jesus, please don't come out.
Selwyn,
Wilkes, here it is.
We'll get up early and shut him down, though.
He's done really well, Nunu. Wilkes is absolutely alone. There is no way that they can get away with that. They have, though.
They have, yep. Lee Hunter for not rolling or somebody losing their feet.
Well, it was Lee Hunter and it was in the side from Vi. It's a better clear up from Burnside.
Just pedestrian, though. They're just...
It is, and they're only just making the gain line.
Flat foot rugby. Look, they're not taking the ball at pace or out in front of themselves. They're waiting for it in the pocket.
And it's very one out as well. They've managed to sort of rumble to just in front of the post. Now they will try and find a way through. It's not there again. Lamsam, now they will go wide. They've got numbers. Has to score. Fraser Green does not. Max Priestley.
What a... There it is.
There's the one. Oh, no! Penalty.
Penalty try.
Well, He's not signalled the penalty try. He's signalled the penalty. It's Nakawara.
Let's have... Carded it.
Yellow card for Nakawara.
And it is a penalty try.
So that will be 48 points to 12.
Let's see what it is. 10 wraps round.
It has to be high, you would think.
Yeah.
Is it ever?
Yep. The flying Fijian gives him a cuddle, says, sorry, mate. Yeah. Desperate tackle, but Peter's probably quite happy for 10 minutes in the bin at this stage. He's had a wild game.
So 48 points to 12. We get to.
So Brighton taking their time to come back. 15 minutes to play.
I mean, it would be one hell of a game, wouldn't it, if it was the...
Massive comeback. It's an uphill battle, but you never say never in a game of rugby, do you?
Lamson, again, not contestable by Collier.
Collier. Just slipping off the sizable thighs of Vi.
Collier, the terrier. Rahali trying to find a way through, can't find a way through, ripped away from him to just get out to the 10. That's a great...
over the ball.
Oh, he didn't quite get there, and Collier, yeah, not going to get away with that, Travi.
Strauss was unlucky to not get that jackal on that.
But I thought he had it. It was
Yeah,
really, really good.
He's another player that's had a fantastic game, hasn't he? He has been all over the park. And as you said earlier, he's been pretty much faultless.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, look, I love Travis Collier, and every time I speak to him, he's very complimentary.
Isn't he?
Not only me, but also the Space Quake crew.
Yeah. He loves hearing his name up on the screen, doesn't he?
He does. And you have to think, and hey, whatever motivation you can get, when he woke up this morning and he knew that he was going to get his name called if he played well,
Lee
just kind of
Hunter
makes him raise more. Lee Hunter, ball in two hands.
Oh, up to
Only
Collier.
offload to Collier. Collier
goes for the bounce.
I tell you.
Oh,
There's big noise from this near
Fishwick.
side. Fishwick, kick
on
and
the
chase.
both forwards
Just
now.
about got
and
it.
all over him too for the
I
jackal.
tell you what, Sam Tees was better.
Yeah, it was far more delicate kick, better chase, and young Cheesy
he
now
knows
cramping.
it. He knows it as well, Sam T.
Yeah, he does. He's probably saying, I would have got that from there.
Well, the 200-game superstar, Reece Fishwick, he probably would have liked to have dotted it down.
Selwyn Mooney would have stripped him off that all day.
Probably needed to put it a little bit further in front of Selwyn, didn't he?
Yeah.
Give him a bit more of a running chance.
Yeah, put it in the tram tracks on the 5. So Jaden Phillips a bit crampy as well. So both.
Oh, he's missed it.
Has that gone too deep? It has, hasn't it? Back for the scrum. Just what the front row would be loving.
And it'll be a Burnside scrum.
Scrum. So
would it be 15 in? No, it's from where it is.
It's 10 metres in.
It's a very, very tight.
Let's see who lines up.
Blind side.
It is Tanaki who.
Is it? No, Tanaki's now gone into the centres.
No, he's the blindside winger, but he's heading to the back where the fullback is. So there's no blindside winger at the
Right,
stage.
I see.
So he's sliding across.
I don't mind that. I really don't mind it.
I'd be looking.
You know,
I would be looking at Vi picking and going down this blindside though, in support with Lamsham.
You would very rarely go blind from here because you're running into Collier and the back row. You normally go blind away from the halfback.
But
Normally, but this is Lamson.
Yeah, and Vi.
So.
If it was Pitter, there's a 100% chance that he would do it.
I tell you, if it was 15 in, I'd overload this side. I'd put all my backs near side.
We've got no room to pass though, Dave.
Oh, defend it.
Create some space.
There'd be lots of space out there, wouldn't there?
Well, there would. Oh, great scrum by Brighton. Got the acid on.
Oh,
Flat ball across.
Hansen, Alan Hansen. Beautiful line. Oh, he had to give it earlier. Rahali. Now he's on his own. Oh, he doesn't need anybody. Alan Hansen. Oh, he's looked him off, gets the offload off the ground. Trying to find a way through, can't find a way through. Burnside there now in numbers. They have to look on either side, and finally they will get over the line. They take another step towards base camp. I think that's Max Hodel, which, if I'm correct, has made the move forward. I thought he was a centre last year.
No.
Big Max? I think he was. I think he's, he's matured, Stefan.
His pace has caught up with him.
That's not what I said. I said matured. You want to read between the lines, that's up to you.
He wasn't a lack of pace there.
No, I think.
Like last season, he had a monster of like the games that I saw him play, he had a monster game. And I can't remember
where. He's been a good player.
I can't remember if he was in the centres.
I definitely remember calling him in the centres. I'm sure somebody will tell me.
I'm sure they will, but no. He'll take the 5 and put it out against his name in the Anzac Cup.
48 points to 17. Well, another step closer to base camp, but you would suggest that's about as far as they're going to get today.
Oh, there's still 9 minutes plus the ref's clock.
You're optimistic, Stefan.
Hey, there's always a glimmer of hope, mate. While the game's still playing, points can still be scored. So, kick-off, restart, untouched by anyone, just dribbles into touch.
Kickoffs have not been impressive.
No, they haven't.
Today?
No, they haven't.
That's about as polite as I can put it.
Yeah. Perhaps it's a focus for both sides during the week.
Lamsam, Dixon. Strauss was very quickly out of the line. Lamsam again. Can go quick if they want to here. Dixon. Alan Henson again looks to take on Nunu. Does take on Nunu. Priestley. That's a big battle between Alan Henson and Priestley. Oh, I tell you what. Craig did incredibly well to survive that.
Unlucky not to get that.
Oh.
Sully.
Yes, Minavalo almost got it away. Vi.
Pestered by Strauss. And Lee Hunter coming through. Absolutely dogging. Saying the ball went
backwards. There is Hodel, and he's away. Trying to find a way through. Has a little bit of support on the outside. Great support on the outside. He's going to skip inside. Great last-ditch tackle. The offload again to Hodel. Can he get there? Not quite. Phillips just about getting there, and now they will finally get over. Afa getting another one from the men in blue.
As I said, time's still on.
Yeah.
Great tackle by Dazowski there, though.
Down there, very nearly got there.
He did very nearly got there.
And so it's Stocks
and Phillips. And then just
Afro just with
just space.
Yeah, they'd run out of numbers. I mean,
the numbers just weren't getting
players literally just coming back over the halfway line. Wilkes takes over and hits the post.
Slaps it off the post. So
how many points have they left on the field?
They've got one. They've got a penalty try. So that's
48 points to 22.
So Reece Fishwick's day is done. We've got Johnny Bates on to replace him. Well done, Captain Fishwick.
The 200-game superstar.
200 game.
I went a bit AFL commentary for him today.
You did.
the 200-game superstar, Reece Fishwick. Brought to you by Chemist Warehouse.
By Gallagher, mate. Come on.
Sorry.
So great knock by Reece. Well led out there today. He would have done Jane proud.
No free ads. Sorry. Gallagher's. Another long kick again.
Just had a look at who was coming through.
Yeah, it's unforgivable, isn't it?
It is. Well,
Coach killer.
Coach killer, yeah.
I haven't said it for a while, actually. Who gave him that?
Welcome.
Just a couple of notches down the Christmas card list, you would think.
Oh, sell it. Yep. Nice ball in the tackle.
Away, Hunter again deserves one, Hunter.
He has been all over the park today, has Lee Hunter. He is in a massive game.
Change at halfback as well. I will say we've rung in the changes, 75 minutes. Maybe Mr. Wosley did bow to peer pressure this week.
No, he will just say no. Seb Stocks spinning. making an extra couple
Oh,
of
I
meters.
tell you, Sam T saw himself as a halfback then. Nearly got there. Estienne Strauss trying to find a way through. Strong again.
He's been unforgiving all day.
Been absolute. I tell you what, Mr. Von Berg, who chooses the winner of the Von Berg medal, obviously, he's going to have his work cut out for him
There
today.
has been a number of players out there that have stuck their hands up today.
And unfortunately, if you're watching from the eastern suburbs, I have to say they're all wearing black and gold.
Oh,
Lamsam might.
Lamsam, you look at Manu Vai, he's had a cracker of a game.
What a take from Nuno, but Tanaki. That's been a great battle between these two.
Hasn't it? It's been and a little lost forward.
Penalty though, not releasing.
Oh, I think he's a bit hard done by there.
Yeah, he's a winger. He doesn't know the laws around a ruck. Previous winners of the Michael Van Berg medal, or the Anzac Day. I thought it was the Michael Van Berg medal. I could be wrong here, but just the Anzac Day medal winners. It's interesting if you go back. Rory Shepherd, old collegians, I'm not entirely sure. My memory doesn't go back that far. James Brown from Brighton, forward. Gary Mann, old collegians, back rower. Tom Hankey, forward. Alex Rockaborough, half-back, or full-back at the time. I'm not sure, but
back.
Absolutely silky player. Back. Well, that's the first time we've said it in 5 years. Lamsam, beautiful hands from Lamsam.
Little flick on.
Afa.
He's had some impact, hasn't he?
Certainly has, second half, definitely.
Oh, and
speaking
Hodel.
of impact,
he's put a stellar effort in, hasn't he? His young Max.
That's Awati trying to find a way through.
Straight up the guts. Oh, ball there for the picking.
Wilkes, short ball, Alan Henson. Oh,
dropped it.
Stolen. No, it was stolen, I think, by McPherson. Gives me a chance to go back to my list. Oh, Jaden Phillips gets it. I love that from Jaden Phillips.
He's unfazed, isn't he?
Yeah.
So who have we got next?
Gary Mann,
Yep.
back row. Nigel Lamsam, back row. Peter Nakawara, back row. Joe Tuluaki.
Was he a back row then?
In 2019.
Was he though?
Maybe.
I'm going to say centres.
Tuluaki.
Little Joe, winger.
Nathan Satala.
Was he in the forwards or in the backs?
2021, I think he might have been forwards.
I think he was playing on the flank or 8.
And Nick Simpson. So out of that, 2012, in that 10 years, really, if you're talking about only backs.
50-50 though.
There's only 2.
Only backs?
Only backs.
Well,
because Nakawara never played as a back. You couldn't call him any position, really.
Well, no, he just makes up where he wants to play.
Exactly.
Regardless
of
what's a bit
same with Lamsam.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing for Nigel. He
just saying that the call for Estienne Strauss, I'm kind of leaning towards it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Back rowers tend to win this medal.
Well, they put in some yards, don't they?
They do.
If they're worth half the grain of salt, they are there. They are pests. They make it count when it's needed, and regardless whether it's flashy or not, they put in some work. So Strauss just creating extra width. Seb Stocks has had a monster of a game since he's been on.
He has. Probably came on earlier than he would have wanted to, and as we said, he's already played today. Phillips.
Out to Bates.
He saw him looking, he was like, oh no, got
Tanaki again.
I tell you what.
I think he's just done a knee there.
He's had an issue with that knee, and he's just lost it.
Yeah, Lee Hunter just folded him back across it, I think.
But he went down with it before, and that did not look comfortable.
Here he goes here. Oh, yeah, just dragged underneath himself. Grabbed it straight away.
He's gone straight to it.
Yeah. Well, there was nothing, and it was a clean tackle, but just the way he rolled, just wasn't. Oh, poor bugger.
Change at halfback as well for Burnside.
Where?
It's actually wearing the number 9 jersey.
Doesn't mean he's playing halfback, does it?
I think he is, yeah.
Oh,
you're so disappointed.
I think Nigel's probably going to be more disappointed. Where's he slipping into number 8?
Yeah, he's not actually been replaced. They've just got 2 halfbacks now.
Lamsham off the back. He's going to run it. He's going to run it straight at Nathan McPherson. Seb Stocks is going to come over the top for the top tackle. Mackalow, you watch, and Nigel will get an offload.
Depends on how Oh, no, he's let it go. There we go. Dixon has Tanaki inside. Short ball.
Oh.
Alan Hansen's been incredible.
Max Priestley for me for tackler. What absolute weapon on the tackle.
Oh, penalty. And just because of his Scottish heritage, you would say, tick a boo. Just take a bow in Scottish.
Okay, sure.
Wilkes
Whatever.
steps back inside.
That was a slow motion bump off on Lee Hunt, who just stayed low and took him to the floor.
Short again.
Oh, great double tackle, Johnny Bates and Selwyn Nunu.
Slow,
Bates slow
really
getting out.
Slow to get out. Yeah, that
Arms
comes
out. Yeah. Just blow the whistle, I think. Everyone's cooked.
One of the, pretty much. One of the things
it
they
is-
said is they want to see. Oh, look! Oh.
We'll come back for the
I
penalty.
thought we were going to have another one. Honestly, my voice couldn't take 2 intercept tries in
2 weeks. You don't need new blood pressure medication.
Oh, at least no chase, please.
Yeah, just go everyone just
Let
put their
him
hands
go.
in the air. Yep. You deserve that.
Lee Hunter gets my vote. That's another one. That's another comment came in.
George
I
Whitmer.
don't mind that.
Yep.
I don't mind that either. South African hammer. Couple of votes for Estienne Strauss.
Oh,
It's just down the way to our right is Mr. Von Berg. He's finished paying attention, so I think he's made his decision.
yeah. It'd have to be something exceptionally spectacular with full time up. So we're now on referee's
Between you and
time.
me, I don't think he likes the flashy lights.
When you look at the list, no. Mr. Von Berg, where did you play? I played in the back row. Okay. Say no more.
Yep. Burnside again, trying to. It would be a consolation try now from the man in double blue. Tanaki again.
He deserves another try.
He deserves an actual try. So he tries to find a way through.
Oh, and a little knock on.
Now he's trying to find a way through. Minavolo gets away.
Oh, the little offside out the back.
They're away. How
Nunu.
good's it? Oh, he heard Lemsam coming. Look at the watch. That will be that, ladies and gentlemen.
An epic battle.
And after the disappointment of last week, Brighton come and stamp their authority on this one from the word go. I think half-time it was 31 points to 5 or nil. I think nil.
Yeah.
So it was
Burnside second half.
Hey,
They were points-wise, but when you look at the spectacle that it was out there, there was some monster plays
really,
on
really
both
good
sides,
rugby.
wasn't
But
there?
for your match review from the men from Burnside, match review, watch the second half.
It was, like I say, game of 2 halves. Second half was a much better game for Burnside. Their process and their focus and their tackle time just uplifting, and their attack play. They shifted, they created space. There were players everywhere.
It was certainly a different style of Brighton to what we saw last week, and maybe they just shook a bit of that off-season rust off in the week. Still affected by injuries, still affected by COVID, just trying to find their way back into week in, week out rugby.
I think the 80 minutes for the starting 15 last week did them a world of good.
A world of good, and then this week they got the rest.
They did.
If you get
They
yourself,
earned it.
if by 75 minutes we've got a lead that we're comfortable with, then you can rest. Ladies and gentlemen, big win as well for Reece Fishwick on his 200th game, the 200-game superstar, getting a W in the column. On a very most important day. Now, let me just look over to Mitchell. Mitchell, do we want to wait for the medal winner, and we'll come out after the medal winner? Yeah, we got a thumbs up. So we'll hang on for the medal winner. There is an Anzac Day trophy as well. Just while we're waiting for that, I know Jane's about. She normally listens, but I'm sure I'll get a text message or something. Where's the Uncle George? Who has it?
Pass.
Yeah, I don't know. I wondered whether it was still here.
Ooh, yes, I'm unsure, Dave.
Yeah, I just had to think about it. I don't know where it is at the moment. Certainly something
We'll have to.
For those of you who don't know, the Uncle George, just while we're waiting for the ceremonies after this, the Uncle George is like the log of wood. They have that in New Zealand, don't they? New Zealand
the
provincial
Ranfurly
rugby.
Shield. Yep.
Yeah, so it's the log of wood. So essentially, if you win it, you keep it. And every time you play a home game, you defend it. In South Australia, it's called the Uncle George after George Doughty.
George Doughty, yep.
And
Stalwart of SA Rugby, really, wasn't he?
he was. I remember I did some work with Rugby in South Australia, and I looked at the notes of George Doughty, and it was years and years and years and years of meticulous home-written notes. So Carl is just organising and sorting them out. So answers on a postcard or on social media.
Send us a text.
Do whatever you want. Snapchat me. Make a TikTok. Whatever it is. Where is the Uncle George?
We shall find out.
We gotta know where the Uncle
answers
George.
to come.
You'll find out. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll just hand you over to Carl now. He's going to do the formalities.
Can I just say, hey, what a second half, guys. Well done. Come back. But good game, all in all. What a day, what a ground, what a surface, and great weather. So, thank you, the gods. We'll present the trophy first, and then we'll go into Mike Van Berg, say a few words, and present the medal. So, obvious winners today, the Anzac Trophy, Brighton. Well done, mate.
In rugby, we can teach you to tackle, we can teach you to run, we can teach you to pass, but we can't teach you character. And to pick a winner today was really very, very difficult. I mean, there were good players right across the park, especially in the last 15 or 20. But overall, I think in the Brighton side, it was just so difficult. So when I look at character, I look at a real character, and I look at the leadership, communication, and his overall skills around the park, and it has to be the captain of Brighton. Great vision.
Well, thank you. Cheers to Burnside. What a game, eh? Yeah, the first half probably wasn't really what we, came out to play, but fucking hell, we played well. But the second half we blew out, ran out of legs, but you boys came back, never gave up. So, yeah, look forward to seeing you later in the season. To our boys, what a turnaround, eh? Compared to last week. Yeah, wow, I can't believe it. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, get me off, I'm struggling for words.
Thanks, Greasy. Congratulations, Brighton, and thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Safe travels.